Jon Voight is a longtime Hollywood leading man who hails from a family of no small distinction. Ben Mankiewicz with our Sunday Profile.
On a sunny afternoon this month in Los Angeles, Jon Voight was feeling groovy.
You make my heart sing. You make everything groovy.
True story. Voight's brother, Chip Taylor, wrote the hit Wild Thing. And like the song's title, this Academy Award winner is a bit of a loose cannon, especially in this town.
I'm an interesting person to myself. I'm interesting, very interesting guy.
I definitely think you're interesting.
I know where I stand, and I have to say my piece if I'm going to say it.
And there's plenty Voight wants to say. But first, let's get to his career. Over 7 decades, Voight has been memorable and mesmerizing.
I apologize.
He's played cowboys, convicts, champs, and chumps. And at 82,
You hear about this new law?
he's set to return as Liev Schreiber's conniving gangster father in Showtime's Ray Donovan.
If you can't laugh, what are you going to do, cry all the time?
No matter the character, the motivation is the same.
Whatever does kill me makes me stronger.
You're trying to get to that truth of it, you know, that essence that illuminates this moment or the story. It's a wonderful thing. It's a spiritual thing.
A devout Catholic, Voight was born in 1938, 20 miles outside Manhattan and 1,000,000 miles from Hollywood.
I'm from Yonkers, New York, and I liked it.
Yeah.
You can't have heirs if you're from Yonkers, you know.
Sid Caesar didn't have heirs.
That's the way I like to feel, a good handshake.
He was from Yonkers, too. And every Saturday night in the early 50s, as the Voight family watched your show of shows, young Jon found inspiration.
I give him credit for my career as an actor. I used to imitate Sid Caesar doing his German professor, you know.
Can we get a little of that? Is that you still do it?
Well, you know, if we're sitting here and we with the great, I'm talking about the great Ben Mankiewicz, you see?
After college, Voight found work on and off Broadway, with Robert Duvall in A View from the Bridge, and as Rolf in The Sound of Music. In 1969, the break of a lifetime.
I'd be happy to oblige.
With the support of his friend Dustin Hoffman,
I really would.
Voight landed the part of the naive gigolo Joe Buck in Midnight Cowboy.
Everybody's talking at me.
Voight says much of the dialogue was unscripted.
We used to improvise all the time, Dusty and I. We were walking across the street, and he hits the cab and says, you know, hey, I'm walking here.
Hey, I'm walking here. I'm walking here.
Oh, you're up yours, you.
Up yours, you son of a bitch. You don't talk me that way. Get out of here.
Then he turns around to me, and I'm thinking, this is great. Let's stay in character. You know?
Don't worry about that. Actually, that ain't a bad way to pick up insurance, you know.
That's all I was thinking. Stay in character, don't cut. And we got it, so.
And it's perfect.
To this day, Midnight Cowboy is the only X-rated film to win Best Picture. Perfection quickly became opportunity, though not necessarily the right one.
I turned down Love Story because I was smart enough to see that I'd mess it up.
Why would you mess it up?
Because I make it too complicated.
If he was looking for complicated, Voight found it in Deliverance. The 1972 classic is a brutal survival film.
We're gonna make it. Keep it straight.
Deliverance earned a Best Picture nomination and further cemented Voight as a heavyweight actor.
Treat us like nobody.
6 years later, Voight delivered another searing performance opposite Jane Fonda in Coming Home, this time as a Vietnam War veteran who's lost the use of his legs. Voight prepared by spending 9 weeks in an LA hospital with wounded vets and learning to live as a paraplegic.
These guys embraced me. These guys embraced me.
Jon Voight!
Voight won the Best Actor Oscar for Coming Home. Yet to this day, what he remembers most about that night isn't winning, but a brief moment backstage with Fred Astaire.
I'm crazy about Fred Astaire. He's a magical talent. He said, let me step aside. I said, no, Mr. Astaire. And I don't know why it touches me so much, but I think it's, it's just because of the value of our work and the appreciation for the greatness of this artist's work and all of the artists that preceded me.
He doesn't dance like Astaire, but Voight glides from genre to genre. Thrillers,
May it please the court.
courtroom dramas,
Hey! Jon Voight!
even comedies. Lately, though, it's not merely his acting that gets attention, it's his politics. Voight is more than a staunch conservative. He's a vocal Trump loyalist in largely liberal Hollywood.
Roe v. Wade, in the grand scheme of things, is not that important.
Critics of his latest film, Roe v. Wade, call it propaganda. The movie examines the circumstances that led to the Supreme Court decision legalizing abortion. Voight plays Chief Justice Warren Burger.
All those in favor of re-arguing?
I'm a conservative, as you know. Therefore,
You're a conservative?
Is
that right?
And I'm not so happy with government involvement in anything. I'm very concerned about our country. I'm very concerned about this attack on free speech. I don't like it that we can't sit down and talk about everything. We're all unique. There's no one that's different or better or whatever it is. We all are unique.
Next, another potentially sensitive subject, his daughter, actress and director Angelina Jolie. They've had a turbulent relationship for years. Voight has only good things to say about her.
You have to be proud that your daughter followed in your footsteps and is so good at this, not just as an actor.
Yeah, she's really remarkable. She's got her own thing, and she's got her own way of dealing with things, She's very clear.
And as a director, too, right?
Yeah, and as a director.
As you're an actor, you think you could handle being directed by your daughter?
She would be tough.
Yeah.
But yes, of course, I would love to work with her.
Look, Jon Voight is complicated. He's a Hollywood outsider who's also an insider. After you talk to him, you don't leave thinking about his politics or his famous daughter. You end up thinking about a man who truly loves the craft of acting and his fellow actors.
I do know I care about this industry, and I do know that I still feel the same way when I get a part, that I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'm excited to go on this journey and try to figure it out and all of that,
You don't seem like a guy who's thinking about retiring.
No, I won't retire. You can shoot me as a dying person in bed, you can always do something. If I can move one eye, I can wink.